Hello, this is a video of an installation we have just completed of a Buderus GB142-45, which is a condensing gas boiler. It gets vented in PVC pipe, conventional PVC pipe, nothing special. This is the exhaust, and this is the intake pipe. So we have intake, exhaust. On the exhaust, it produces a lot of moisture, so we add tea and a condensate drain on it to get rid of the moisture, and that goes into a condensate pump. Here's our gas piping. Here's our test gauge and our shutoff. Here's a signature from the gas inspector. He was just here. And over here on the hydronic side, we have a low loss header, which all the piping ends up into the low loss header. A gauge set up, a pressure tank for expansion, so commonly called an expansion tank. And we have manifolds. We have manifolds for 5 heating zones. These are our heating zones. We left 2 supply and 2 return future caps here because the owners requested it for future use. So currently this is a 3-zone boiler, however it's set up for 5. This last zone is actually, there's a piece of wire on it. This last zone is a domestic hot water zone, and it serves the superstore only. And this all gets piped into the GB142. The GB142 automatically controls the priority to this. So it does not, you do not need to use the priority on the Taco controller. I use the Taco 50. This is actually a 506 controller. We're set up for 5-zone, but they didn't have a 5-zone. I don't believe they make a 5-zone. So this is a 6-zone controller. One will be never used. One zone will never be used. However, we have the 2 additional ones for the future. And there's our shutoff and vacuum breaker and copper water pipes. So on this application we ran PEX for the heating supply and return and connected to the existing copper. One of the features, the GB142 has many features. This is one of them. This drawer actually controls. On the left we have the domestic hot water control. On the right we have the heating control. The heating control also gets the hot water temperature, because it's on automatic. The actual temperature gets regulated by another device that's inside called the AM10 controller. The AM10 controller has a reset schedule on it, and it also has a warm weather shutdown feature, so this boiler will not shut down. This boiler will not run, rather, when it reaches the set point. It's set for 70 degrees, so anything above 70 degrees, the boiler automatically shuts down and will not fire for heating. It will only fire for hot water. And here we have our exhaust flue. This is a concentric termination fitting. It's a pipe in a pipe, so the exhaust comes out of the middle, out of the center, and the intake is actually behind here. And here's our sign that has to be posted at 7 feet in Massachusetts. I removed the cover of the GB142 to show the AM10 controller. The AM10 controller gets installed. It's oriented upside down when you're looking at it from the front, but that's just how it is from the manufacturer, because the only time this is ever used is on setup by the technician. So this is not something that the homeowner would ever adjust. So when you click mode, it goes through these various settings. The first setting is a read-only setting, and that's actually measuring the outside air temperature. The outside air temperature is currently 82 degrees. So again, this is read-only. As we hit mode, we go into the second reading is the calculated temperature that the boiler supply would actually is looking for. So because it's really hot outside, this is the default is 32. When I talk, you'll see it actually goes back to the main setting of the outside air temperature. So that's 82 degrees. The range on this is like 32 to 190. This is again, this is read only also. It tells you what the boiler temperature we'll be looking for. Next mode is our high point of our reset schedule. I set them at 190. The next one is the low point of the reset schedule. I set this at 140, so we have a 50-degree variation in temperature. The next